Welcome back, MTG Joe here. Today we are gonna try out kind of a brew in Historic. This is a black-white vampires list. So there's always kind of been on the proliferate, kind of on the offset, like a vampires list. Mono black typically is the colors. I want to try out pretty much black splash white. And there's a couple cards we get with white in terms of vampires. We obviously get Edgar, Charmed Groom. The new Vampire Lord, kind of a grindy card that produces vampires on its own. We get Legion Lieutenant, which is a 2-mana Lord that pumps our squad. We get a Danto Vanguard. To be honest, I really want to play in a Danto Vanguard deck. We were playing the Boros Taxes deck the other day, and I love Vanguard. Happens to be a vampire, gets pumped up, and then we also get a couple copies of Legion's Landing mixed in there as well. We have Fatal Pushes, Thoughtseize to break up like combos and stuff. Fatal Push for kind of weenie stuff. I might opt to play like Infernal Grasp. We'll take a look to see. Knight of Eben Legion is a vampire. Gifted Aetherborn is a vampire. Playing a couple Callous Blood Mage for a couple reasons. I wanted a main board Graveyard Hate that's also a creature. We can sneak it in with Sorin. It can create 2 bodies if needed. It can draw a card. Just a lot of flexibility in this card. And it's a vampire. And then Champion of Dusk is kind of the top end. Refill your hand, draw a bunch of cards to kind of go from there. The mana base is very good to play black-white. You get access to Concealed Courtyard. So we have 4 fast lands, 2 slow lands, pathways, shocks. We also have the Voldaren Escape, which we can use to create blood tokens. This is just another way as virtual card advantage, and then some Hive of the Eye Tyrants, just more graveyard hate. So like the one deck that I'm a little worried about is like the green-white company decks, but we're just going to try to go over the top of them and just kind of see how that goes. We might revise our removal package a bit. I'm not sold on this configuration just yet, but we can play around with it and see. But really, want to play Danto Vanguard. We also got a Werewolf Tribal deck that I'm going to give a shot. See how that goes. Let's go Historic. Best of 1. Let's go Vamps. So there's like a lot of vampires currently in Historic. There's the 2-mana black one that whenever a creature dies, put a 1/1 counter on each of your vampires. There's Bloodcaster that makes the blood, but we're not really like huge on the blood token theme. I forgot to mention Sorin. Sorin's like the best card in the deck. You cheat things in, you kind of go from there. I think we're gonna keep this hand. All things considered, it looks pretty decent. Lead on that, play Shockland tapped. Play another one of these. I'm actually gonna shock in here. This might be the Boros Taxes deck we were playing. So these are legendary. We only have 2 in our deck, but I think that's fine. Gonna use Bloodcaster next turn. Draw a card. Could have Helix here. Want to hit a land drop. We just want to work our way up to these big boys. Yeah. So this is likely like the Blood Sun list I was playing the other day. Could be Jeskai, but no, it just might be Burn actually. Interesting.
I'm with the Gatewatch, so you might as well if you're lucky.
So we need to hit Chandra here.
Hey, listen, jerk. Move it.
Just play this out. Could just be straight Burn.
Give a toast.
Or Chandra Tribal. Well, obviously, drawing our Fatal Pushes in this matchup's not the greatest. could have Chandra here, like Chandra 4. Yeah. So it is Chandra tribal.
I knew you needed my help.
Are not great in this matchup. Okay, we got a heavy emote, Andy. We should be able to ride Vanguard here a bit. I do need to get starting off with this Chandra off the battlefield. They might go up to Ugin. At the very least, this will guarantee me drawing some cards. I'd really like a Sorin just to start giving this lifelink. Yeah, this might be Ugin. If it's Ugin, we're just going to concede. They do need a land drop, though. Our deck does not beat Ugin. So take this out.
Guess you don't need me anymore.
Our life total is getting kind of precarious. Obviously did not want to draw more lands there, but the worst part is we didn't even draw a utility land.
Watch me heat up the dance.
So they're stuck on lands. Let's just double Bone Crusher. Jeez.
You're really cramping my style.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 lands this game. 9 lands, 2 Fatal Push that don't do anything.
Looking a little singed.
Okay, well, if we draw literally 10 lands, that's not going to do much. Like, we drew cards that game, we got swept twice, we saw what Adanto could do in the matchup, but when you don't draw spells, you can't play Magic. So, that's just bad variance. It's going to happen at times. We draw a Soar in any of those games, like the fact they had to use multiple spells. Sounds cool. Sounds gonna hurt a bit, but it sounds cool. Let's see which Luris deck we're playing against. Auras. Well, I really don't like Core Spirit Dance. Oh, okay. Just, they say turn 1 Thoughtseize is the most powerful thing you could do in Magic. I guess they weren't lying. Actually, I got a new lamp. Let's see if that helps. It is really cold right now in Toronto. It's like minus 20 Celsius. Hence the toque. Opponent goes first. We got push into either Aetherborn or Vanguard. Need to hit a couple lands, but I think this is super reasonable. Push their turn 2 play. Oh yeah. Okay, so this matchup could be a problem. Probably should have led Vanguard. We can't break the 9 lives lock. We just have to hope to kill them before they can establish it. So keeping them off like mana accelerants is actually pretty good. Problem is with stuff like Sithis, it's going to be rough. See the Weaver as well. They're most likely on the lock. Can play this. Hopefully we just draw a land, draw a bunch of cards, try to find like a Thoughtseize. Fatal Push for either of these would also be good. Finding my Edgar. They draw 2 cards for every card they play. Okay, Thoughtseize is actually pretty good. I'm actually going to get a Sanctum Weaver here, I think. The reason being Sanctum Weaver lets them get a lot of mana, and that allows them to chain through the most amount of cards. Next turn we'll be able to flip. I'm actually interested to like, they could have traded Destiny Spinner for like Aetherborn. Opting to go Presence. They could have drawn 2 cards this, or I guess that they still have a pretty full hand. Kind of scary that they missed a line drop and all that. Should have drawn the cards first. I'm losing out on drawing 1 card this way. We're probably dead. So I can Knight here. Can Fatal Push. I think we're just Knighting here. They have all the card draw in the world. Okay, so we see Solemnity. This is the one downside. Like, I haven't played this matchup in a while. Do they get the 9 lives? Okay, that's encouraging. That means they haven't found 9 lives yet. Kind of annoying, so that means on upkeep they'll be able to find it. So we kind of lost our chance to hit Sithis. And they can close the game out pretty quick afterwards. They basically animate their auras. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so I can't. So, I could take them off that potential win condition. Try to get it to the point where they mill out. If I do this, then I also can't play this. I think we're going to opt to try to go for the card draw to find a Thoughtseize. That would have been good. So I actually don't think... Oh, they didn't Sterling Grove. Okay, so they have 9 lives. Can try, because they could animate lands. We can kill the land. Could try to get them to mill out. Like, they are drawing a lot of cards. We also have these gifted Aetherborns that could gain us some life. Hive as well. So we're basically at the point where we're kind of dead. Oh. Oh, they can't get counters. Noted. Forgot about that. Read the fine print. There are 20 cards. Oh, they're just on the approach win plan. Okay, so now we can go. If they have approach, then they're gonna just draw into their approach naturally then. Ah, that one's a bit frustrating. We had a pretty good start, but running into a deck where we have no answer to a lock. One of the fragile elements of a creature deck like this. You can't really hand hate them because you saw that game, they're drawing like 3+ cards. They could have like... We were playing with them trying to win through making a bunch of tokens. Them having that Ixalan's Binding. If we drew like a Sorin earlier could have helped. We'll give this one more go, see how it plays out. Playing against Ashton Kutcher. Hand looks good. Hive into Courtyard. Into Lieutenant. Okay, so it's probably Phoenix, I would imagine. Pillar. So play out Vanguard this turn. Next turn I can Thoughtseize something from their hand, as well as play out the Lieutenant to try to protect it. This matchup's a bit tricky because we do want to be conscientious of our life total. They've seen... Oh, they're on a Delver version. See, looting. Really what I'm just trying to hit is either something like Expressive or a burn spell. That could hit my Legion Lieutenant. Version's on Spell Pierce as well, so it might be a little bit more tempo oriented. So let's see what's happening up top. Precisely why we did that. I think we just take the looting here. So they can use this to kill my Lieutenant, but that's fine. That's their whole turn. They really don't have much going on. And then I can start firing up these hives to also eat their graveyard. More the beatdown version. Just creatures buffed, turn them sideways, some disruption. Alright, we're 2-2? Does that seem right? 2-2? Let me double check. For 2-2, we'll try to go for the 3-2 split. If we're 1-3, we will call it on this one, I think. I usually like giving decks about 4 or 5 games, kind of see. We are 2-2, alright. Tiebreaker time. Oh yeah, we had the opponent that conceded to turn 1 Thoughtseize. We drew 10 lands in one game and we got locked the other. Playing against Neverwin. Might be the boss battle for them. Opponent goes first. I'm gonna mulligan this hand. It's really not doing much in terms of curve. Okay, this hand's much better. In the dark, I'm gonna put back a push. I'd rather keep this as a... If we hit Sorin on 3, we can play that. Alright. So depending on what they're playing, if they're like a control deck, Champion's actually not a bad card, depending on the amount of removal. So to me, that suggests they're potentially on like rogues. Oh no, they're on Reanimator. Oh no. Are we getting turn 3 Serad? Nope, just turn 3 Elishnorn. Alright. That's how the day's gonna go. That's how the day's gonna go. Let's give it one more. That one isn't true. I think ultimately this deck's probably gonna be too fair. You can't really combat like the Thoughtseize alone. You need to either be red based to tax those type of decks, have a little bit more standard like disruption, so you could have stuff like, sorry, we'll keep this hand. This hand looks good. What was I gonna say? You need stuff like Roiling Vortex, Bone Crusher Giant Stomp to break locks, stuff of that nature. I think we go Aetherborn this turn, and then depending what I see next turn, I'll consider Thoughtseizing or not. Control. So we still have a turn before they hit us with a sweeper. So I think we just draw a card this turn. And then next turn I Thoughtseize them. Jeez, this is going to be another game where we draw nothing but lands. So I'm doing this now pre-combat. Yeah, if they have Charm, they steal my guy. Okay, so whole lot of counters, but no way to answer the board. So this always comes into play tapped, so we'll just play that out. Nothing we play is resolving, for the most part. Who the hell plays Settle? Take the Archmage Charm here. Charm draws them cards. Something told me to Thoughtseize pre. Okay, this is just kind of silly at this point. And a hard cast Shark. Can we have a spell? Like, any spell? I want to wait on this. See if we can... We know they have the counters. Okay, so we do this. This gets out the absorb. I fatal push. That hopefully gets out the veto. Guess we could have attacked. We're probably dead regardless. Yeah, now, especially with Castle. I think maybe I should have led with Sorin and then gone to the fate. Like, this is actually freaking ridiculous. Yeah, we're not gonna win this. Way too many lines. Way too many lines. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lands. 10 lands. So you ain't winning games when you're drawing 10 lines, that's for sure. Anyways, gonna wrap this one up. Thanks for watching as always. Hope you have a great one, and we will catch you next time.